for metabolic function. Proper macronutrient ratios are vital there. And the gut microbiome has been shown to impact a person's metabolism significantly. We'll talk more about that later today. Movement helps with our resting metabolic rate as you increase muscle mass. Rest and manage stress. As it turns out, when you don't get enough sleep, you need 40% more insulin to control the glucose process than people who sleep. Also, people who don't sleep well tend to eat 300 more calories a day than someone who's getting 8 hours of sleep a night. Now let's talk about reducing synthetic exposure for just a minute. Chemicals can act as endocrine disruptors that alter fat production and energy balance. Other toxins alter levels of the appetite-regulating hormone leptin, or increase the activity of estrogen. Now, as we look at this wellness pyramid, the reverse of this is also true. If we decide that we will not focus our attention on the foundational levels of health, not by choice, but by what just happens, we will have to spend time, energy, and resources at the top of the pyramid, spending attention and time in proactive medical care. So let's talk about how metabolic health is doing here in our amazing European countries. So, every year, there are more than 11 million new cases of cardiovascular disease reported in Europe as a whole. Each year, cardiovascular disease causes 3.9 million deaths in Europe, and it causes 45% of all deaths in Europe. Data from 2015 found that 24.3% of European adults met the clinical criteria for metabolic syndrome, with rates slightly higher in women than men. And then also, based on the most recent BMI data, 47% of the adult population in Europe is at a healthy weight. So that's less than 50%. The highest amount that were overweight were actually in Finland at 60%, the lowest in Switzerland at 41.8%. Italian women have the lowest categorical rate at 37%, and Croatian men the highest at 74%. Overall, 53% of the population in Europe is categorized as overweight, with 17% being obese. There are clear indications that the proportion of overweight and obesity declines as educational level declines. Rates of obesity are higher in Europe than any other region globally, except for us in the US. We beat you. Sorry. We're worse. Sadly, this problem is now affecting our children, with 33% of them having the same challenge. That's pretty sad to me. The annual rate of increase in the prevalence of childhood obesity has been growing steadily, and the current rate is 10 times higher than it was in the 1970s. This is an epidemic that is growing rapidly, and it's an epidemic that's linked to the global increase in the availability and accessibility of food and reduced opportunities to use physical energy. Food has never been so affordable, products high in fat and sugars are the cheapest. And remarkably, this problem affects the poor in Europe more severely, which imposes a larger burden on them and handicaps their opportunities for improving their socioeconomic status. Medical advances are helping us live longer around the globe. We're actually increasing our lifespan, but sadly, that's not always with the health that we would want to live powerful, fulfilling lives. Lifespan is now exceeding health span.